Now, this chapter 12. You have no idea. I know, it was supposed to happen. So, you assume? Yep. Happened for a while. Of course. And also... Whoa! Cool, eh? If I can assume, it's still kinda cool. So, you can't figure it out? Not yet, definitely. It's still kinda... I know. Eventually, if I can assume, we might be careful. Right, of course. You have no idea. I know. It was supposed to happen. Well, that's still kinda... I know. How are we gonna figure it out? I don't know yet. I hope so. Well, we can't figure it out this year. I know. Eventually. It's still kinda, isn't? What's up? Yeah. Okay. I did not spoon spot that. I know, it was supposed to happen from earlier. Right, of course. I know, it's supposed to happen. Alright then, let's find out if you can assume. I know, it's supposed to happen, but it's still cool. Right? Okay, I guess it's still true. Alright then, hope I figured that out. So, you didn't know yet? Yeah. Of course. If I can assume. You have no idea. This is supposed to happen, right? Naively, of course. You have no idea. I can assume, but you have no idea. I agree from now on. It's still kinda cool. Eventually, if I can assume that might happen for a while. Right, so the blue ninja and the green ninja? Yep, okay. And the blue ninja. Well, can't figure it out by the way. It's still kinda off. So, I guess that's okay. Also, we can't figure it out with them. It's still kinda off. I know, it was supposed to happen. If I can assume. Of course, you have no idea. I know, it's supposed to happen. Not yet, definitely. Of course, you can't foretell? Not yet. Of course. Whoa. So what are we gonna do? I don't know yet. If I can assume that's supposed to happen. Right, of course. And also... Whoa! Cool, right? I know, it's supposed to happen. But I guess that's still cool. From earlier. Except, I guess that's still okay. So you didn't know this yet? No, not yet. Happened for a while. How do you know this? I don't know. It was supposed to be this far, but I guess that's still true. Okay. Alright then. Whew. We gotta figure out what to do about them. Yep, this still kinda isn't? Not yet, definitely. Of course. I know! It was supposed to happen. Well, I guess that's still off. So, we didn't know this? No, not yet. It happened for a while. But if I can assume, I guess that's still true. Yep. So what we do now? I know, yeah. You still cool, Vigilante. I know, it's supposed to happen. If I assume, it's still kinda true. If this is supposed to happen, they let me know, Vigilante. Of course. I know, happens for a while. Not yet, definitely. And how do you know this? Not yet, definitely. Of course. We can't figure it out. Isn't or isn't. We don't know about that. Why, of course. I know, it was supposed to happen, if I assume. Right, so you done this yet? No, not yet. You still cool from earlier. Except, I guess that's still okay from now on. Yep. If I assume, we can't let that happen from earlier. Right, it's still kinda. No, it's supposed to happen, if I assume. Right, of course. I know, it was supposed to happen. If I assume, by the way. Yep, I guess that's still true. Alright then. If you assume. Well, I guess I was right about them. Yeah, of course. Alright then, I guess we're done. And for Mario, let me know, okay? Hey, meow. Whoa. Well, this place is kinda cool. Yeah? I know. I've never experienced about this place before. If I could assume, this place is kinda cool, right? Yeah, I know. It was supposed to happen. If I assume, I've experienced about this place for a while. But I didn't know this. How did this supposed to happen? Yeah? Of course. You have no idea. Yeah? I know. It was supposed to happen. If I could assume. Yeah? I know. It was supposed to happen. Yeah? Agree. If I could assume this is supposed to happen. If I was getting some ideas. Yeah? Of course. If I was gonna keep them mind. Yeah? What's up? If you could assume that might happen familiar. It's a little bit familiar, right? Yeah, of course. And also, it's still kinda cool, right? Yeah. I know, it was supposed to happen eventually. So let me know from now on, yeah? Of course, if you have no idea eventually, yeah. I know, definitely, yeah. Of course. You have no idea, right? Yeah. Of course. Are you sure you realize that? Yeah. Of course. Eventually. Yeah.